question. Up against the side of Deep Cross, it feels like there's still some experiments going on here. They're putting Nesty on a damage dealer. They're keeping to the Renata Glass bottom lane pick. I don't know what to make of this one, Clement, and see if Deep Cross can come back and get a win here, or will Beyond Gaming be the ones going up 2-0?
There's two win scenarios in my mind for DCG. The first one is that Leaky is somehow able to, with the help of Hana, win the lane versus Liang. It's not expected to happen in this matchup, but I've definitely seen it happen before. If the Camille gets far enough ahead, if she can bait out the riposte in a couple of trades, it's definitely possible for him to dominate. On the other part, I would say it's that DCG need to bait Beyond Gaming. They need to have them funnel into them, just run towards them, and get Woody on the spot with a great hostile takeover. If that goes down, Beyond Gaming are actually very brittle across the board. They don't have champions that can survive auto-attacking each other. So that would be the second win condition. But honestly, Beyond Gaming are not supposed to run into 5v5s. For them, this game is about picking sides and overloading the map and making sure you play away from Renata.
Yeah, try to avoid Renata Glass as much as possible. Usually a pretty good strategy. Woody, of course, in this lane. It'll be interesting to see how this one goes in the straight-up 2v2, I feel, because, yeah, you want to, at level 6, be able to counter that hard engage. With Kino relatively squishy, you see they're playing a bit more defensively there. It is a heal Zilean.
Yeah, I do think Zilean's biggest problem is that his trading is still very weak in lane, and we saw that in the first game as well. Time bombs, pretty hard to land. Your ultimate is not great in the 2v2, I would say. It doesn't really work. It's much more of a team fight ultimate than a laning ultimate, so I do expect DCG to come out quite comfortably here in the 2v2 early on.
And of course, that top lane matchup, I do want to watch that one. Talked about how this is certainly a Fiora favored one. Weak point's going to be hit there. However, Leaky, as you mentioned in the pick ban, has been the stronger of the two overall. So I'm curious to see if he can, with the help of Hana, maybe overcome a little bit on that deficit. Does lose out in the level 1 to level 2 exchange. However, he's playing it back relatively safe. We'll have to see if Hana does take a trip up there after he gets his clear off. Nesty actually roaming spotted as he gets another ward down. Husha in this jungle. Of course, Husha on this Viego. Now, this is a champion that we saw almost every game in the last year, especially in the summer split, but it has become a much more of a situational pick when you want to get those resets, when you want to try and pull off the ganks into the Heartbreakers and use your opponent's strengths against you. Here comes Hana.
Here we go.
On that roam at level 3. Liang's going to be able to dash it, repose, no problem.
Yeah, pretty well played here. Even though Liang's lane is pushing, he's very aware that the gank could be incoming. And I do want to remind everyone that Beyond Gaming did sneak a level 1 ward into the red of DCG. So, honestly, if Liang died right there, his Benny probably would have a lot to say to him. You're not supposed to die if you know the first jungle pathing coming in from the opponent here. So he does dodge out on that quite nicely. And now it's Husha's turn to make sure that the repeat gank is not coming.
Man. Definitely a lot of attention being paid topside by both junglers for the time being. Not a whole lot of surprises there. I will point out, though, Leaky definitely going for a bit more of a combat summoner situation as he has paired his teleport with Ignite versus Liang's Flash. So a little bit more focused on the all-in potential as we settle our duo laners back into the bot. It was actually Kriskata and Woody that were able to finish off the Scuttle Crab as they roamed up into River instead of Hana. And a lot of poke damage coming out of that Aphelios.
Yeah,
I do
want to mention that most of the times Camille, when she goes Ignite, it's because of the laning matchup is very difficult. It's more of a defensive matchup in the idea of deterrence, basically. It's like, well, I've got this extra summoner over you, even though I might not win the one-to-one champion trade, I have the chance to edge out ahead with the extra damage. Here we have the gank against Woody.
Yeah, he's got a flash immediately. Knew he wasn't going to live very long after the fact, and they do get the root down. Wako taking a little bit low. They actually are going to bring Hana into this party for a 3v3. Wako low, has the flash, uses the heal. It was actually Kino's, I should say, and finally he'll be forced to flash out of it, so holds on a little longer than maybe he should have.
Really good stuff coming in from DCG and Hana right there. Able to get multiple summoners, very key summoners, both flash and heal down. And I feel like Beyond Gaming probably just stayed on that play, you know, going in and chasing forward after the flash was expended by Woody means that they do get punished. And this is an opening for DCG. You know, there's only the cleanse left. It's very difficult for them to escape the pillar. And I foresee a repeat gank before the level 6 can come in for the chrono shift.
Yeah, nice edge here for Deep Cross. You can see Criscata building up a pretty decent CS lead as well. Kick things off here.
Mm-hmm.
Teleport, of course, burned by Leong on that back. Does pick up a Sheen for his trouble, so that's going to be matched by Leaky in just a moment. But another relatively quiet start to the game. This time, not for lack of trying, however, as both junglers are taking trips up top, both junglers are taking trips down bottom. Both junglers have been very busy, and I expected this out of Husha. He is very gank-focused, but Hana's been matching pressure quite well on this Trundle.
Yep, has been able to, even though he was put behind, I think he's made up on it earlier. And this is a very interesting move coming in from Woody. He's helping shove the lane in for Nesty to create roams onto the map. And what this does, it makes sure that Minji cannot get a free roam up. He's already hit level 6 at 550, so a pretty early timing coming in from him to impact the map. And the most important thing for DCG is to make sure that Camille doesn't fall too far behind. Or, you know, honestly, they would like it if he could win his lane, but it's kind of hard to make that assumption here. So at the very least, they're going to make sure that Leaky is not going to get ganked by this Twisted Fate.
And just sheens on sheens on sheens right now if you're watching the top half of the map. And Leaky is going to run into Leong in this tri-brush. Actually, got to be a little careful. Has the hook shot. The Vital, though. Leong really wants this one as he has level 6 issuing the grand challenge. But into the Hextech Ultimatum, they've got a little bit of help from Nesty. Leong running for the hills, and the 2v1 results in the first blood for Nesty.
That was way too opportunistic there from Leong. He was correct in assuming that that was a huge mistake from Leaky, and Leaky without the flash, he actually would have died there without his teammates. So the damage calculations was correct, but the map was not in his favor right there. So he does end up going down, and that's huge. This is, as I've said, still a matchup that Camille can sometimes come out ahead of it, given enough kills.
Yeah, and a little bit of help, too. I mean, Nesty picking up the kills quite big as they had given him the Ahri this game, something that they're hoping to dish a little bit more damage on. This is going to open up an opportunity for Deep Cross to go for this first Mountain Drake as well. So this is going to be a follow-through as the gold card after the teleport comes in from Minji, or should I say the Destiny Gate. They're going to be able to walk away from it, though. Beyond looking for opportunities, and maybe they're a little half-baked here. Leong, as you mentioned, he definitely got his calculator out, but he did not account for the opportunity of of Nesty coming in. I see an Ahri on the minimap, and I think one thing in this match.
I think you can be forgiven for that one. And not much Leong could do afterwards, but you can see the idea right here coming in from the trades that Beyond Gaming are definitely very much focused on getting 1-3-1 down. This is not a comp that they can reliably win, I think, 5v5. I feel like 5v5, they're so prone to hostile takeover, just wrecking through their entire team. They're also very short range in terms of their front line. So they would prefer to have a much more spread out map where Twisted Fate can get much more value by being essentially in two places at the same time. And so winning the side lanes is incredibly important for them. But in the meantime, DCG have their strengths here as their bottom lane with that Renata pick is starting to just dominate the lane here. And they do have a completely free open 2v2 with no Destiny Gate to interfere.
Yeah, Minji already burning his earlier does mean that Deep Cross can bring Hana down. Nesty was on the way as well. It opens up for a few free plates. Criscata going to be getting really ahead in gold if this keeps up. And Leaky, he started to turn this matchup in his favor too, has a slight item advantage over Leong. There is, of course, both ultimates up and available. Leaky's going to get his Ignite back a little bit faster than Leong will his Flash on that cooldown. Should be able to push this in a little bit more. Level advantage as well. Nicely done on the combo there. That tack sweep also clipping a little more of Leong's health bar, and this is getting dangerous for the Beyond top laner.
You know, I still think that there's no real chance for Leong to die right here, but it certainly is making him rather uncomfortable onto the top side. And we could be seeing I think the gank assist coming in is what's important here. Leong, no TP. If he does just die to Trundle, and you know, you can't riposte a subjugate, So there's definitely a chance for the gank to just straight up happen. The Hana does get spotted, so Leon should stay safe in the meantime.
Alrighty. Taking a look at how the gold has shaken out this game. As we expected, as last game was, it was a little bit back and forth for just a minute in those small gold leads, but those are very negligible. Now it's started to go out in front here for Deep Cross, especially as a result of the first blood they were able to pick up earlier on. A bit of a quieter game as far as the kills go than we have seen in the regular season. However, Deep Cross looking to control this one. Leaky, still a level advantage, still a CS advantage. A pretty sizable one now, too, as he's kept Liang away from a lot of the minions. But Husha is here. And critically, if they can open up a kill, he's got the Eye of the Rift Herald. They can try to get a big push off. Still some time to work with on the plates. That could start to turn Liang's matchup around, but Husha doesn't find the opening he was looking for, and Leaky's right up here looking to secure the first plate.
Yeah, Leaky's playing this incredibly safe. He is stacking the waves to push. Oh, a great find
Brand
there.
challenge. Oh, the tack sweep, though. Is Leon going to be able to bait this out? That ignites, ticking, and it's just enough. Now he's going to go for the 1v1. Nope, never mind. They're bringing Minji to the party and onto the Heartbreaker. It actually gets canceled by Nesty. Husha still gets the kill. 1v2.
Oh, he misses the wall.
1v1, I should say. And oh my goodness, no, Husha! He missed out on a hook, but he's still able to dodge out of Hana. Man, what a weird series of events up topside.
Yeah, essentially a 3v3 that was spread across space and time is what happened right there. Huge commends to Leaky for outplaying Liang completely. He baits out the riposte and still finds the damage in completely in order to get that solo kill. Of course, Husha does get his pound of flesh in the very end, but I don't think that's enough to swing the matchup. I feel like we are seeing Camille actually just dominate, even though it's a much worse 1v1 matchup. We'll watch this again as Leaky is able to get the hook shot out before the riposte actually comes in, gets the full damage and the ignite down for the kill. And Minji is, oh come on, this is that was so a little bit greedy.
You can't do that in front of Nesty. He knows how that champion works. Yeah, at this point, he whiffs the hook shot, still gets out. Meanwhile, we're right back into it because all of a sudden things have opened up. Chris Cotta flashing forward is going to be able to get the resurrection out as a hostile takeover comes back a little bit. Wako doing Chris Cotta's job for him, but meanwhile Beyond have already popped the Rift Herald in the mid, and all of a sudden things have gotten spicy as they're going to get a couple plates down here. Nesty a little bit low on the health bars, but they don't find an opening to get the dive on. So Beyond are feeling a little pressure here to make some plays happen.
Yeah, I feel like we just saw a gank coming in from Husha that was probably missed as we watched the action in the bot side. So you do get a good chunk and a Herald drop. But I have to say that's actually a pretty acceptable situation for DCG. If I'm DCG, I'm much more worried about the Herald drop top, because that could change the matchup. If it's dropped mid, nothing really changes. You still see the Twisted Fate getting pushed in. You still see the roam potential of the TF just being denied completely by the Ahri. So I'm actually completely fine with that Herald drop. That Herald drop was more of a desperation drop than a drop that actually accentuated the game plan for Beyond Gaming.
Yeah, Beyond really wanted to get that off in the top side, but because Liang had died before Husha could even really get in there, sure, he gets the follow-up kill on Leaky, and that's great, but yeah, they don't get to turn that into anything, and it does seem like the early decision to have Hana focus a little bit on that top side, help out Leaky in this matchup that's slightly tilted in Liang's favor, has done so much work for the game. Deep Cross, not only do they really have the edge in the gold game, they have the 2 dragon stacks going now. It's going to be an ocean dragon, so they're going to have a lot of sustainability here. Wako does get a plate off. They will be able to find Chris Cotta. The rocket comes through. They're going to look to finish him here on Minji's gold card, but it's going to be a bailout. Chris Cotta doesn't last very long after the fact, though, and now Husha going to be running a little bit for the hills, but they have already gotten their kill. Nesty a little late to this party, and Beyond are going to cloister up to get out of harm's way.
Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate for DCG. They actually, I think they tried to play their wards a little bit too smart. They actually dropped it outside the tri-brush, if you saw that pink ward. So that's a really odd ward placement from them. It did not spot out, if you watch here, it actually did not spot out Husha, and this is a really good fake out by Zillion as well. If you see someone clearing wards, you don't expect the jungler to already be in the brush there. So Husha finds a great engage on Chris Cotta. Even with the takedown, the bailout, excuse me, he's not able to find the takedown reset, and they just get away with murder. That was really good acting across the board from Kino.
Good execution. Now Wako actually looking to chase down, finds the Get Excited proc and a little bit of rocket poke there. Ooh, Nesty just completely whiffs on the Ari Charm and knocked into the wall, stunned on 3 members. I don't see him getting away from this one, but he does burn the flash and just barely limps out. And, oh, man. 15 minutes on the clock, and we're starting to see things turn and twist, and it is absolutely a PCS playoff game, Clement. Husha will open up on the Rift Herald. This time would hope to be able to find a more impactful drop than they did in that mid lane last time around, but Hana is actually going to contest him on this.
Yeah, I think at this point they can't really fight for this Herald if you're DCG, and this game is getting pretty wacky. I didn't expect DCG to lose bot lane this early on. They were winning throughout the majority of the game time, but it was just that one play that Beyond Gaming was able to find that netted him the kill, netted him the tower in the end. That was a very unexpected swing, so I feel like DCG, they defended the main point of aggression from Beyond Gaming coming from the top side, but somehow they did just fumble the bottom side a little bit too hard, and it puts them in a really odd position right here. I feel like DCG, they're still in a decent spot for sure. I think they're gonna overtake the gold lead here, but it's just not going according to plan. That's how I would put it.
And that's troubling if you're a team that really relies on the plan to execute. Already down 1 game in this best-of-5 series. Beyond finding openings, maybe they didn't win the topside matchup, but they are able to out-execute elsewhere. Now Husha coming up here. See if he can get that play out onto Leaky. Maybe Leon can bait this one out. Will it be Oscar Knight up in top as it was down in the bot? Leaky. Not going to bite just yet. Goes in. Riposta's there. I think he has to know something is up, but he's going to be chased down under tower. Leaky's shown pretty remarkable restraint in this series. I definitely have to commend this player for not getting too over-aggressive in a number of situations. And Liang, for his part, well, he dove a little bit too deep in that early play. And it did cost him his life, and not just once, but twice here. Meanwhile, what's going on in mid lane?
A lot of CS, too, if you look at it.
Oh, yeah. Fiora needs some minions. Yeah. Absolutely.
Ooh, Minji's going to run into company here.
Yeah, he could be in a lot of trouble right now. I think Minji has just had a rough game so far as he gets yoinked back, and oh, they just want to give Nesty that kill. Oh my god, she just runs away! That's why you always secure the kill!
No! Oh my god, what are you doing? Oh, Hana even had flash, you kill him for sure! They let him walk out?
Break out the yakety sacks, Clement. What is happening?
Oh boy. You can kind of tell the lack of killer instincts here coming from DCG. That was 100% a kill. No way that Minji should have been able to walk out. I feel like Hana just kind of walked back because he wanted to give the kill secure to Nesty, but if you're given a free kill like that, you have to take it. It's not an issue about where the gold goes to. It's about setting up for the Drake.
Oh dear, that does change things a little bit here for Deep Cross, trying to get this third dragon. That's a good pillar. Wako does get knocked back, but there's really no follow-up, and Woody just can't quite get the handshake off. And okay, Husha going to get stopped up, and the Hextech ultimatum. They do find Husha. If they can take him out of this one, he does get revived by Kino, but they need to follow up here. Leaky actually caught up from the rest of the team. Going to get taken down first, and that's the Heartbreaker. Husha is going to be able to turn into Camille on this one, and meanwhile, they have a lot of burst follow-up here. Wako running wild, untouched with the rocket poke, and that means Beyond Gaming are in shape to start this dragon. If they cut down Deep Cross's Drake stack, that is going to be trouble for the blue side team this game. Wako looking huge on this front line. Once again, Rocket comes through, gets the deletion. Woody just way too squishy. 2 kills for Jinx, looking for more. They don't even need to secure it. A triple as he flashes forward, and it's all coming up Beyond.
Oh no, I feel like that fight was so mishandled from the side of DCG right there. So what should have happened in that fight was Woody needed to hold on to his hostile takeover. He would have actually gotten the kill in the top side. If they just hold their position there, that's actually a fine fight. But he blows it too early, and Beyond Gaming are able to then control the ramp and not only kill Leaky, but turn around with the hook shot for even more. So we'll watch this play again here as you see Leaky go in for the Husha kill, and all they need to do is not use the hostile takeover on the single target in the top side, as that would have cut the rest of the members of Beyond Gaming away. So they just, I feel like Woody just misunderstood what his role there was. The team fight, that was a very poor use of the ultimate, and it means that Wako can just walk up right on top of his face. He's like, oh, your main engage is down. Okay, I guess I'll just walk right on top of you. There's nothing you can do anyway. And he just, takes the open invitation, kills Woody right off the bat, and then goes in for the triple kill as Cascada tries to run away from this one with the flash. It's just a little bit too late. And, that's so unfortunate because I think DCG actually found themselves a pretty decent position there, but they just mishandled the fight.
Yeah, and we're seeing the same issues from game one persist for this team, just not necessarily able to use the full composition to their advantage. I do think this Renata has been a little bit iffy for Woody. I think Woody in particular has been a little iffy on some of these engages and some of these counter engages. It was a good start for Leaky. I love the jumping. It was great.
Takeover for damage on a solo target. I'm just like,
yeah, no,
that's a little bit sus. That ult was definitely very sus.
It's like a series of events that really leads for the Beyond setup, though, right? I mean, if Fusha doesn't get the reset to turn into Camille,
yeah,
you can't follow up like that. You can't let Wako go in there to get those free hits, and all of a sudden he picks up these 3 kills. It pretty much just flat out buys him the rapid fire cannon, and now Wako is just going to start running wild. A Jinx popping off, you'll absolutely take that. Mega Man Beyond Gaming are looking so good right now, and I think the biggest thing for me, Clement, is just this team, their team fighting, their 5v5 team fighting is on another level in this playoffs.
We talked about it. Beyond Gaming, they understand 1-3-1 situations, I think, a lot better than most teams in the PCS. They know how to buy time. They know what angles of attack they need to take. So when in these team fights, they are doing a couple things, I think, really nicely. First of all, they know they don't have a real front line, so they're actually keeping their back line super far back. They're waiting for DCG to make the first move and blow most of their engages before Wako just goes completely crazy and goes in. If you look at Beyond Gaming's comp, it's actually a very hard comp to pilot. They have no tanks whatsoever. The damage that they take, it sticks. So they have to wait for their opportunities to go in, and those opportunities are cooldowns. So I feel like DCG, they have to read this better. They have to understand that, hey, we actually have the stronger engages sometimes in these team fights, and if we're going in, we have to save some of those engages for turnarounds for crucial targets going forward. So it really is just displaying kind of the difference in terms of the understanding of how to play their team fights.
Well, as it stands, Beyond are going to be able to cash in quite a lot here as they take another tower up top. That was courtesy of Minji. Opens up more of the map for themselves. As we get into the 23-minute mark here, Husha's got to be a little bit careful. Step a little far into Nesty, but Nesty, man, he really wishes he could have gotten that second kill onto Minji. I still can't believe that happened. We're letting him limp away as he just didn't have the full damage stack on.
Yeah, I definitely sense a bit of a tilt from that play as DCG commit more errors after letting the Twisted Fate go. But coming back into the map, I will say DCG are still not too far behind. But what they have to do is understand that they want to be grouped up for these fights. They can still do that because of how far ahead Leaky actually is in this matchup. He might not win the 1v1, but I think it's correct to say that he's ahead based on the amount of gold that he has gotten here. So DCG, they keep their team together and... Okay,
it's a Destiny Gate. They do cut Cascada off. Oh, you hate to see it. Husha's going to be able to finish the kill off. And where was Leaky on the sideline the entire time? Deep Cross got caught with their pants down.
Yeah, they were actually setting up a bait in this river, and Beyond Gaming just full-on punished them for it. They were like, oh, okay, you're split up, Leaky can't teleport in time before I land the Destiny Gate into gold card, so I'm just going to go for it. And Cascada, I believe his cooldowns were down in terms of the summoners there. He had his flash, but wasn't able to use it. Maybe the flash was down well. So
it did burn the cleanse to hopefully get out of that, but yeah. I do want to commend Wako on the cutoff. I mean, he's had honestly nothing short of stellar flame chompers this game. It's allowed a lot of those fights, a lot of those catches to work out really well. You talked about how the team fight, or rather the composition that Beyond had built for themselves, really wanted to try and overload the map. I mean, I feel like they have been everywhere.
Yeah. I think Beyond Gaming just understand their win conditions so much better. They know that if hey, if you're split up, well, Leaky is not there, it's not a 5v5, then we can just overwhelm you with numbers. And I feel like DCG have to be a lot more careful in these situations. They don't have their mid lane tower, and they're just kind of walking into the middle of the map. I feel like this is a bit of a rookie mistake against from Kriskata. Probably hasn't played against that many Twisted Fates in his career overall, so we'll see a lot of those mistakes. But I still give DCG a pretty decent chance at coming back into the team fights if they stick together as a 5v5. And I think a critical point for their team fighting is they don't have to be too desperate at finding the engages themselves. They can walk into the positions. They do have a little bit more of a front line with their champions, and they should bait the engage from Beyond Gaming. Beyond Gaming, once they are baited in, Hostile Takeover can deal a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, they just got to use it at the right time. Now, Hextech Ultimatum on the Grand Challenge. Nesty comes in as well. Great charm. They do take down Liang, and now Minji is forced to flash away. Gold card's on. Leaky's still taking the fight to him. Oh, he has a lot of damage into the charm. Again, Nesty is able to find it, but Minji on the last second goes gold. Meanwhile, Wako is taken down by Hana, and I don't know what Deep Cross are doing, but they certainly flipped a switch somewhere, finding 3 kills across the map, and that is the start of a comeback.
Yeah, beautiful coordination, and this will mean the Baron just being taken away. Only Husha and Kino alive to stop this one, and Husha doesn't have a flash or ult, so he can't get over the wall. It should be a very secure take coming in from DCG.
Yeah, 4 versus 2. All Husha and Kino can do can try to harass him off the Baron, but this is actually a pretty fast take here. Even without Kriskata, sure, the double bombs come in. I'm not super worried about that, and Beyond Gaming, they know they cannot contest this, and they walk away. Deep Cross picking up the Baron. I think even Kriskata got it. Let's take a look at the mid replay again. While everything was happening on the side lanes, Wako, oh, he finally gets punished for his hubris.
Just walks right in front of the Trundle right there. A little bit of a miscalculation. I don't think Husha was 100% in place for that play to actually work out. You only get the 80 carry in that situation. Probably wanted a lot more. But overall, this is a huge win for DCG. They're going to have map control, which means that, honestly, I don't see Beyond Gaming picking them off in these team fights as they were able to in the last round. So this should be a very strong point for DCG. And we have seen in a lot of games that Renata is a great sieger. If you're trying to defend in this mid lane, Renata's ultimate can cover essentially the entire aisle. So it's very easy to force people off those towers.
Yeah, Husha going to split off a little bit. They do actually have a bit of a 4-1 going with Nesty waiting in the wings. I really want to commend Nesty on landing those charms in that side lane. Let's see if he can do it again. He does manage to find under the Zillion, and that does mean no. He just in time recovers from it to be able to hit that chrono shift, but it does not matter. Minji looking to get out of harm's way, but no, he is charmed up. So not only is it 2 kills in the mid tower, it's going to be a second one here as Deep Cross continue to charge down the line. This time as all 5, they're looking to crack inhibitors here, Clement, at 28 minutes.
Yeah, they might be going for a game end as well. You know, there's still 25 seconds on this one. If someone dies, it's just GG right now. There's no wave clear either.
But this is going to be it. Deep Cross finding a way right back in. You talked about how they could do it as 5. Well, they certainly joined up and muscled in, and that is going to be the game as the Nexus will fall. They'll be able to get a couple more kills off the back, and we are all tied up at 1-1.
A very abrupt ending to the game.